Okay, so tonight I'm talking about genuine relationships and content creation, but I'm going to give you guys a lot of tips. I've been studying the crap out of content because I feel like everyone has turned into like throwing up business posts all the time that's like, do you want an opportunity? Do you want blah, blah, blah? And I feel like we need to be one step ahead and be different from all of that. And so I've been studying how to be different among everyone who is saying work from home, work from Wi-Fi, blah, blah, blah. Because I feel like everyone is seeing that no matter like whatever company it is. So I want us to stand out, and that's really what I've been working on. But before I get into like my tips on content, on relationship building, all of those things, the first like 3 C's that I've realized is the most important. It doesn't matter if you apply anything that I give you tonight on content creation. If you can't apply being consistent, confident, and committed, it does not matter. It doesn't matter what script I give you. It doesn't matter what content I give you to post. If you're not consistent with it, doesn't matter, goes right down the drain. If you're not confident with it, like when you're on the phone with someone, even if you have literally the perfect words to say, or you have the best thing to say on video in your live video, if you're not confident or like you have clarity in what you're saying, it literally doesn't matter. So that's why I wanted to talk on these things first. And then commitment level, right? I think a lot of times we're like half in, especially in the beginning, you're a little scared, you're a little fearful, whatever. But you're like half in, half out, you know, you're like kind of committed. Like, I'm going to see how these first 30 days work, blah, blah, blah. I promise you, if you are not fully committed, no one is going to commit to you. If you don't even know if you're going to stay with it, why would somebody else want to stay with you either? This is one of the biggest things that I had to learn when I'm like going through little like ups and downs in this business. I'm feeling discouraged, blah, blah, blah. I literally, if I am not fully in, I know that those people are feeling those vibes. The live videos I do, the IGTVs I do, the talking into the camera on my Instagram. I know that people can feel if I'm number one confident in what I'm offering. Because if you're like, I don't know if this business really works, and then you're out here talking about it, people can feel that. And I'm not going to join your crap program or your opportunity or your business if you don't even know if you're committed in it. So that's why I wanted to hit on this first, because the first thing you need to decide tonight is that you're going to recruit yourself. You're going to recruit yourself with these products. Do you love the products? Do you know they work? Do you have integrity when you're selling them? When you're talking to someone about it, do you believe that it's going to really fix their hair? Or are you following some script? Because if you don't believe it, I promise you, they're not going to believe it. Same thing with this business. If you don't actually think that this business is going to serve somebody's life and help them and change their life and get them their dream home and pay for their college debt, if you don't believe that, they're not going to believe that either. So this is the first thing, is it kind of is a mindset thing. But I promise you, if you do all the things that I say about content creation and your stuff looks amazing on Unfold and you just spent 4 hours doing stuff, whatever, I don't care. If you don't even know what you're committed to and you're not confident in it, then screw everything else. I don't care if you spent $40 on Unfold for the upgrade. It doesn't matter. So those are the 3 things I want you guys to get clear on tonight. Are you consistent? Every single day, do you show up, even in your sweatpants, even when you don't feel good, even when you're discouraged, even when someone just quit on you? I literally have had someone quit on me. Like my first 8 market partners quit on me, actually. And I did not care. I literally showed up like the most confident person, like I was about to be SED. So that's the first thing. Everything I say tonight too is an application process, not an information process. I'm not giving you this information to like toot my own horn, to have so much fun training you guys. I'm giving it to you to actually do something with this stuff. Like, if you cannot apply what I'm telling you, you should get off get off this call right now, because life is not an information process. It's an application process. It doesn't matter how many podcasts you learn. It doesn't matter how many YouTube videos you watch about content creation and how to take your pictures and how to make captions. If you do not hit live, go live. If you do not make the IGTV video, it doesn't matter. So tonight, I'm going to give you all the tips, but most importantly, I'd rather you throw out B- work or C- work than no work at all because you're waiting for it to be perfect, because that is obviously going to get you nowhere in this life, in this business. I have failed so many times. I've screwed up potential calls where I literally didn't know what to say and it went just silent. And I was like, okay, I think this isn't for you, and hung up because I was so freaking embarrassed. And I've had to fail to go through that experience to now I freaking crush potential calls. I feel like I'm one of the best. But that didn't come without a cost. And it came from applying this. It came from terrible lives that I did. It came from horrible captions that are just ugly to read, that I hate looking at. But it reminds me that it took time, and you're never going to be perfect. But if you don't start, you're going nowhere. So that's what I first wanted to say. Let's get into building genuine relationships through commonality. So something that I have found really helpful, and I've been telling my team about, is, so think about what interests you. When you go home, when you're just in your free time and you're on YouTube, and I spent 4 hours watching curly hair tutorials. That's like what interested me. And like, that's what I struggle with the most, right? So that's what I YouTube. Maybe other people YouTube makeup tutorials. Maybe they look up budgeting stuff. Maybe they listen to podcasts about who knows what people listen to nowadays. But like, whatever interests you, right? Like, what do you like to look at? Maybe you look at like mom tips. Maybe you spend all day online shopping. I don't know, right? Whatever interests you, you need to be showing that on Instagram. If you don't know what to post, first start talking with what interests you, right? So like, if I learn something from my podcast and I talk about that, there's going to be other people that are going to say, oh, that was super helpful. Or if you're on YouTube and you learn how to do a really cool braid and you show how to do that really cool braid, the virtual upline guy, I don't even remember his name, but something he talks about is learning out loud. So it's kind of like taking people through the whole process of what you learn, and what you learn from your podcast or your YouTube video or whatever. If you're interested in watching 4 hours on YouTube on this topic, right? I'm guessing there's a lot of other people out there that are interested in this too. So sharing that, I actually challenged my team. I said, I want you guys to go learn something that interests you, and then I want you to go share it on Instagram. And they were all sharing it, and I'm not gonna lie, some of my girls, I'm literally bored with their content, right? Like, I'm like, okay, I see the same thing about Monet every day, the same, like, do you wanna do this? And work from Wi-Fi, right? But when they did this with their interest, and they were like, I had one girl who, she talked about the Baby Whisperer podcast. She's a mom. And I found it so interesting. And she talks about different personality types of toddlers. And I was like, this is so cool. And if I thought it was cool, and I'm not even a mom, I can't even imagine how many DMs she got about this topic. So by doing this, right? So here's my point in this. Obviously, that isn't a direct, I get market partners from talking about my interests. However, you get people in your DMs, and everything that can go to your DMs is where you can start closing people and start building relationships. Your purpose is to get them to your DMs, so then you can pitch the business, and then you can pitch the products, and you can build a relationship. You're never going to build the relationship though if you can't get them there. You can't get them on an intimate one-on-one level. So I really like to put things that interest me, find other people that have same commonalities as me, bring it to a DM, have a conversation, and then pitch them the business and say, I don't know if you've seen any of my other posts, but it sounds like we make an awesome match. Like, we sound like you have like a lot of the same interests as me, and I think we should partner together. Have you ever, whatever I say, it depends on the person. But that's a good way to have it come off more naturally. And that's when you build genuine relationships. I realize in this business, the people who have done best on my team, it's the people who I'm most like. It's the people who I have the most things in common with. I could actually hang out with them and enjoy my time with them, right? So I'm not gonna find someone on Instagram and try and fake a relationship with them. First off, they can feel that it's insincere. I feel like it's actually really hard. When I first started this business, I would not even cold message, but they were like, you need to build relationships. You need to engage, right? And I was doing everything they were saying, but I was engaging with people that I wasn't like, and I had literally nothing in common with them. And it was extremely hard to go from, hey, I really love your bikini, to join this business with me with nothing in common. However, if I could find someone with the same hair type as me and be like, girl, I love the mane. And like, she would say, oh my gosh, I love yours too. And I'm like, oh my gosh, are you a diffuser or an air dry? Like, curly girls know what that means, you know? And we'll just like go back and forth. That gives us trust, and that's going to help me get to a market partner a lot faster. So really try, guys, to create these commonalities and to start learning out loud what you do on a day-to-day basis that interests you. Maybe you love online shopping. Show people your 2 outfit choices and what shirt should I get or whatever. It's like all my other, like, who else is addicted to online shopping? Go find these people. Then go DM them and say, which are your favorite online stores? And then have a conversation with them about this. So try and find a commonality first and then move it to the business, because if you go the opposite way, you're going to get nowhere. People are going to think you're spammy. People are going to think you're insincere. Okay, let's move on from that. So business and VIP content. So when I said the genuine relationships, right, through commonalities, that's more of like the 80%, right? That's what we post about, the other 80%, how we say 80%, everything else, 20% business, VIPs, blah, blah, right? So commonality, stuff like that, 80% of that, and I would say that stuff and like lifestyle and, but when I say lifestyle too, like, I don't think you should be posting all day about your dog or your cat or your whatever. Like, you got to realize, like, people don't care. I personally don't care. Do not care. I don't like seeing people like, I'm at the bar. Like, I literally don't care. However, I do like teachable content. So when you guys are learning from a podcast, you're learning from a YouTube video, if you can teach me something, even if it's unrelated to Monat, I'm going to keep following you because I learned something from you. So the more teachable content you can put out, or teachable, educational, that's going to work a lot better than, oh my gosh, my cat's so cute, or my dog's so cute, or whatever, right? I literally don't care. I don't have time for it. And the most valuable thing to everybody is time. So if they feel like you are wasting their time when they watch your stuff, they are going to unfollow you. I think about the people that I follow. My favorite people to follow are the ones that give me valuable content, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that app, like, that's so cool, thanks for sharing that. Or, oh my gosh, that was the best hair tip. Or, like, those are the people I like to follow. So you guys need to become those people by becoming experts in whatever interests you. Okay, so going into business and VIP content, right? So the first thing is, I know we always talk about video and showing your face, and I really agree with this. However, I think in the first sentence or the first whatever slide, I don't even know what you call it, you need to be able to capture attention immediately. If you're like, so the other day, like, you lost me, I'm gone, I just exited from your story. You have to literally, if you don't have that energy or that hype or that passion, they're not going to have it either, and they're out of there, okay? If you need to go find it. And this is when it comes to like interest and recruiting yourself. You need to be this passionate about this business and these hair products. So capture attention. That first line of your caption on your Instagram, if the first thing says, I'm trying to think of just like a boring one, like, have you ever wanted more, like, in life? Like, I'm like, okay, goodbye. Like, you just nothing, right? However, if you were like, the 3 biggest failures I've had in my life, that I would keep reading, because I'm like, oh my gosh, what were your 3 failures? Like, that interests me. Like, everyone's curious about how you failed in life. You just got to understand how people's minds work, right? So that's super crucial, is that first line, that first video, that first slide on Instagram has to be compelling, or you guys are never going to believe this, or these are the most insane results I've ever seen in my entire life. Check this out. Like, people are gonna be like, wait, what results? What's this? You know? But if you just throw up the before and after, it's like dating, guys. There was no tease. There was nothing. You just threw it out in thin air for them to just grab, okay? So let's start capturing attention. If I go through one more 10 story long video of talking with no passion, and like add some gifts on there, make it look good, like spend like 5 more minutes to make it look better. There was a statistic on like movies or Netflix series. Did you know they changed like the video angle like every 10 seconds to keep like your vision, to keep you like entertained, because that's how fast our minds get bored. That's how your video should be. It should be that entertaining that people want to keep watching. And like I don't know what you need to do to be able to get there, but you need to have that sort of emphasis. Okay, let's see. Also, people buy from people that are like them. And this is where I feel like I actually do have a strong suit in, is I do have a lot of empathy for people, if that makes sense. Like I try not to come off as the person that's like, I am just so successful at this business and I've had no hardships and like it was easy from the beginning, or my hair has always been great, or I don't know, like you want, or like I feel like sometimes we're really like showy, like we're going on these vacations, we're look how much money we make, commission, like whatever, checks just dropped, right? However, people don't feel like they're like you. Like they don't empathize. Like there's no empathy there for them. It's kind of like you saying your job sucks, your life sucks, and you wish you could have mine, you know, right? But there's no like, hey guys, like commissions dropped, like it means the world to me because I'm able to pay for this, this, and this. I don't know if any of you guys are like this, but this time last year, I didn't have this and I didn't have this. And then people are going to say, oh my gosh, like that's me, you know, that's how I feel. I want that. If you were able to come from there to there, I could do it too. But when we're just like, I drive my free caddy and I go on my vacations, that doesn't seem attainable for people, right? So the more you can make people feel like they know you and that they can relate to you, the better you're going to do in this business. Because I know personally, I buy from people that I feel like are normal people and that I feel like speak my pain points. Like, I'm not kidding. This is why I follow so many curly haired people and stuff, is because they hit on that all the time. They show the frizz stuff is what I struggle with. Or like, I don't know, it's just like pain points in general. Like when I can see that a blogger, an Insta famous person can really like humble themselves down to maybe how I'm feeling, and then they offer their solution, that's going to be way more appealing to me than someone that's like, I drive a Ferrari and my life's perfect and you can buy my course, but there's no like, I'm like you too. So anyways, moving on to the next point. I spent way too long on that point. So next point, I want you guys to think about, this is just more of the hair side. One thing that I do to be able to post is, unlike VIPs, is what type of, I do like a Google test, right? What do my clients Google, you know? And I know personally, before I started this business, I was like, how to get curly hair to grow, how to not have frizzy curly hair. Like those are the things that I was Googling. I really did struggle with that stuff and I literally could not find a solution to it. So think about your clients, right? What do they Google? What do they struggle with? What are they YouTubing how to do? And that's the solution that you want to provide. If you don't know what they're Googling, you should probably do some research. You should probably look at some YouTube videos that do provide information on that. Go to the comments, see what people are commenting, see what people need help with. I go to a lot of like Instagram famous people that post about like their hair or whatever, and I'll go to the comments and I'll see their wording on their hair. Like, oh my gosh, I cannot go one day like without it being greasy or whatever. And like, I literally use their wording because that's how the client speaks, right? So we don't want to speak like the marketer. We want to appeal to what our customers are saying, not what we think that they're saying. So I like to look at these comments. I like to research what they're saying because that's the stuff that I'm going to be posting. I'm going to use exactly their wording when I'm posting. You're never going to run out of content if you know their issues. The only reason you don't know what to post is because you're not educated on what they need, right? I guess this kind of goes into like niche and like finding your like person. I don't know like how firm I'm a believer on this. I do think that you should have something that you hit on a lot. Like I do the curly hair thing a lot. And I will say 90% of my customers have curly hair and I've gotten a lot more from curly hair. However, I do still talk about bleached hair, damaged hair, men. I talked about a men's line today, right? So I do think you can we can show that we do different things, but I do think that you should look like an expert in at least one area of hair. And it should be something that you have a transformation on, whether it be split ends, whether it be damage repair, something that you can relate to people on. And that's what you should be hitting your story on over and over again. I don't even see Sarah Hill ever talk about curly hair, and I think that's fine. I wouldn't ever buy from Sarah Hill if she was talking about curly hair because I don't trust her. She's not like me. She doesn't know my struggles. So I think she talks about what she knows, and I think that's what we should do too. I need a charger for my laptop, but I don't know where it is. Okay, what are some, okay, so let me think of the other things I wanted to hit on. Okay, and then also when you're on potential calls with people, I always take a notebook, and when I ask them, you know, like what interested you in the business, I'm like writing down what they say, because even if you don't sign them up, right, I mean, hopefully we close them, but even if you don't, you can use that same wording on posts, right, because they've just told you why they were interested. So maybe you didn't sell them, but maybe by posting, and like maybe that was like the planting the seed, but watering the seed would be saying that same thing that they just told you is the reason why they wanted to join, and talking about that in your stories with their own words, right? They'll probably come back to you, you know, or somebody else with that same problem, same reason that they want to join the business, by hitting on that over and over again with their words. Also, I did a video testimonial today. I had one of my VIPs do one. There's a male client that I have, and that went over really, really well. So I think asking for it, but asking for your VIPs that are happy with their products, being like, hey, is there any way you'd film like a 1-minute testimonial? I think video is so powerful. The texts are great, but if you want to step it up a notch, get a video testimonial. Go live with a VIP that loves the products, and tell people, like, I'm going live with a VIP. She's not affiliated like with the business. She makes no money from this. She's just going to tell you her experience on the products. You know, like, think outside the box, do things like this, because then people watching it are going to hear it's just going to be natural, and just ask them, you know, like, how long did it take you to feel a difference, or whatever. But video is extremely powerful, and if you're not utilizing this, you're like 10 steps backwards. Okay, the next thing is, I really want to hit on this specific versus general statement. So, like, this is kind of going back to posts and stuff. But when you're like, do you have bad hair? Like, that's way too general. Like, that doesn't really connect with anybody, you know? It's like, what do you mean by bad hair? Like, what specific thing? So the more specific you can be about something, like, do you have to get a trim all the time because you always have split ends? Like, that someone's going to read that and be like, yes, I do. Oh my gosh, what do you have for that? Right? So that's what you want to be like, is you want to be as specific as possible. You can talk to a wide range of people. But like, when you are making a specific post, talk to one pain point at that time. Do not try and talk to 20 pain points with one post. Go post to post, story to story. Break it up by, like, you know, week. Like, this week I'm going to talk about curly hair. This is the specific pain point I'm going to hit on today. I'm going to talk about just this. Don't try and be like, do you have frizzy hair, damaged hair, all the hair, you know? The more specific you can be about something, the more someone's going to feel like you understand their problem. Okay. Voice message, video message, super crucial that I've been using. In my DMs, you don't really even see words. I voice message all day long. It makes things go way faster for me. They can actually hear the excitement in my voice, and it works a million times better. Same thing with video message. This is maybe a little weird, but if I know someone kind of well, I'll just send them a video, or like, oh my gosh, like, I know you're interested in the split end mender. This is what it does. I had to show you, you know. So, like, I really try and get it more engaging. Okay, let's see. Okay, so research, I talked about this a little bit, but like studying bloggers, forums, YouTube accounts, knowing who you're talking to. I create a document, right, with words that my clients say. And then the next thing, right, I'm going to talk about a little bit of your X factor, right? It's what sets you apart from everyone else in Monat? What do you offer that other people don't, you know? And I know we all sell the same products, right? And we offer the same business model. However, people join people, they don't join business. Just because I say I sell for Monat doesn't make somebody join me. So what makes it different with joining me, right? That's what you need to figure out. It's not just some copy and paste thing. This is why when you guys take other people's posts and you copy and paste it onto your stories, it doesn't work, because that's not your voice. That does, like, those aren't your people, you know? Like, I study the crap out of my followers. I know that I have 80% women. I know the age range of the people. I know what time. I see when my posts do better and worse. It's 3 o'clock. So if it's during the day, you probably, like, you can kind of see if you have people that work all day and that's why your posts are better at night, or do you have moms that are on during the day? You know, like, I really do try and study this stuff, and I study, like, you know, what my followers like to see and which posts get better engagement. But if you just copy and paste things from other people in this business, it's not going to work, because it's not your tone, it's not your voice, and I can, like, see that from a mile away. Like, I can literally read something and be like, Sam Gomes wrote that. You didn't write that. I can read something and be like, you took that from Erica Sheffer. You took that from Sarah Hill. You need to find your voice, and that is your superpower in this business. I don't care when people copy me, but I can promise you, you're going nowhere with my posts at all. So, like, you would actually, like, I would rather you spend 30 minutes creating your own than copy and paste mine and get no sales from it. It's like, we're not in this business to copy and paste. We're here to, like, actually make money. You can get inspiration from mine. But if it doesn't sound like you and it's not your story and you're not truly empathizing with these people, they can't feel that you care, it's not going to go anywhere. Okay. Let's see. X Factor. Like, who do you help, right? What's your transformation? You don't have to have this insane transformation. It can literally be like, it takes 10 minutes instead of 30 minutes to do my hair. It can be, I don't care if you just started this business. It can be that you have, like, people actually motivate you now. You have a support group. You didn't have this before. You get excited to wake up in the morning. It can literally be anything, right? Whatever transformation you have is your X factor, and that's what you should be preaching to people. And this is going to obviously change as you have more and more transformations in this business. Okay, and then stories, right? You should have kind of a brand as well. Like, what's your look, right, on your stories? Don't just, like, this is why when you copy and paste, it looks weird, because you, like, took one from Sarah Hill and you took one from Sam and you took one from Jackie, and it just, like, it doesn't look like you, right? The more clear you can be, like, you don't have to be like this, but I think it works a lot better when you choose a font. I'm going to be with this font. I'm going to do different shades of blue. Like, that's me. I want people, when they see my post, be like, Steph wrote that. That's her style of writing. That's her, font. You want people to see that and be like, that was Cam's, that was whatever. The last thing I will say on all this is clear versus confusing. I've been talking to a lot of girls lately. This is more kind of like on phone calls and stuff. But when people ask you, like, what do you do? Or how do you make money? The more simple you can be, the better results you're going to get, right? If you are confused on that answer, you need to do a lot more studying, and you need to figure out how to say what you need to say in one sentence. If you see that your conversation is like paragraph and then they respond with a sentence, and then it's paragraph and they respond with a sentence, that obviously means that you aren't clear on what you're saying, and that's not a conversation. That's you talking at them, and that's going to go nowhere, I promise. No one likes to read paragraphs when they're not giving you anything back. So the more simple you can be with posts, with what the sale is, with what it's done for you, with what you do, the better. Like, I was listening in on a potential call with one of my MPs, and, like, the girl asked, like, what do you do? She went all over the place. The first thing she said is, actually, it's kind of complicated. And I was literally about to scream through the phone. It's like, when you say it's complicated, do you know what their brains do? Your brains are maneuvered or powered to, like, save energy, right? So when you start with, it's kind of a lot, or it's kind of confusing, do you know what their brains just did? Their brains just shut off. So the more simple you can be with, I just help people with their hair, We're on social media anyways. I'm going to use the products. I love them, so I might as well make some income while I'm at it. That'd be stupid not to. I'm going to be recommending this to my parents and my friends. The more simple you can make it, the more no-brainer you can make it for people, the better. If you make this confusing or you're unsure, they're not doing this. The second people are confused on what these products are, what it can do for them, they're not buying. They're not doing anything with it. So I really want you guys to focus on keeping things simple. If you don't know how to do that, you need to watch more training videos. Be really organized with your posts. Don't go to VIP to MP in one day. Like, If you're doing customers today, you're doing customers. If you're doing market partners today, you're doing market partners. And that's it, right? Don't mix them. People are like, are you selling? Am I buying? Am I joining? I don't know what I'm doing. So the more simple you can be, the better. And then on calls and whatever, I really like to show people the vision. You know, I like to show people the potential they could have in this. The best leaders show people what they could become. You know, they show them the vision of like, yeah, you're going to be able to stay home with your family. You're going to be able to do this or whatever. You're really hitting on their pleasure points instead of their pain points. We talk about pain points all the time, but you're really hitting on their pleasure points at this point. That's all I have to say about genuine relationships and content creation. I hope this helped you guys tonight. I really want you guys to be able to find your own voice, to be able to connect with people on commonalities. Don't force these conversations. You guys all have something interesting about you. You guys all have your own things that make you who you are. Share that with people and connect with people on that, and you're gonna see like everything change for you. It's gonna be like a light bulb. Like you're gonna get DMs about like, oh my gosh, I love this, or I love that, or I can totally relate, or I watch YouTube videos on that. And from there you can create relationships, and these bring solid MPs and VIPs to this business instead of all the cold messages and all the fake relationships. So I hope you guys have a really good night, and thanks for hopping on this call.